So we're here at Cook Partners, Partner Stove with Jaime Agado, the current owner of the company. Huge fan. I'm a huge fan of this. I have their small stove, their large stove, their frying pans. And, you know, when we think about stoves, we think about those old pump white gas things we might have had in the Cub Scouts, or maybe something you screw a propane bottle in. This is at a different level. And Jaime, tell us a little about Cook Partner, how it got started, and some of your products.
So the product, you know, like most good things, were developed out of need, and they were developed for the river runners. They were lugging heavy old equipment, and the efficiency. So they wanted to lightweight and they wanted efficient stoves, so they weren't lugging excess propane. So it got started, and the burner, everything was built around the burners, and to get them to be able to cook hot and get them to be able to be efficient. So the system, once the orifice size on the burners was developed and was deemed adequate for Harvey Partner, who developed it, a very meticulous, smart individual, then realized that the traditional 8-inch system wasn't working like what's running on most of your grills. So this is actually a 27 PSI system, so high pressure, low volume. So therefore, the efficiency came up, and then the lightweightness. Therefore, you know, the aluminum came, and every one of these pieces is handmade in Pocatello, Idaho. And so the same guy actually from the beginning is still there welding on these, and so the meticulousness carries through.
Yeah, the thing I love about these are, it's like a little suitcase.
Yes.
And you think, oh well, it's aluminum, it must come from China, or it must be an import. But then right on the front of it here, it says made in Pocatello, Idaho.
Yes.
And you know, they're not inexpensive, but boy, from what I heard you talking to someone else a little earlier, they last forever. So tell us a little bit about, you know, the product line you have and some of the price points, and then a couple stories, if you would.
Yeah, so the 22-inch, which is that guy over there that Mark's cooking on, that's our flagship one. It's a 2-burner. This is just a smaller version of it. This is the 18-inch 2-burner. Basically the same thing, minus 2 inches on each side, and the burner centers are a little wider on that one.
You know, I remember when I ordered mine, because right now on this one I had a goose gear setup, so I had to have it come out. But you can actually order which side you want the propane to come out of, left or right.
Left or right.
But in talking about bulletproof, this thing, I have had this in the mud, in the sand. I basically got home, I hosed it off.
Yeah.
And let it dry out.
Yeah. No, you know, the knobs are recessed. Pretty simple design, but pretty rugged design at the same time. And the strength is been focused on where it needs to be, with nothing else, bare bones, and the toughness of them. And most people aren't nice with these things because they realize they don't have to pamper them. So it's not a thing that you have to set it somewhere. They get, once people get past the first scratch, they're just shoving them. It's another tool.
Yeah. It's like a tool in a toolbox.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing I love were these pans. And again, you know, I bought many of these. They last about 2 or 3, not this one, but a lot of things you see on Amazon. You buy it 2 or 3 times. It warps. It scratches.
Yep.
These also are handmade. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. We have the fixtures. We pulled them up there at the shop. So they're aluminum, hard anodized aluminum. And so because of that, the heat dissipation on the aluminum makes it to where there's no hot spot. So once, you know, if we give it heat here, it's naturally going to draw all the way through. The thickness was again, done through excessive testing based on the burners. So when you use our Dutch ovens, our griddles with our stoves, then you complete the system. Now you've made the system, and you really maximize the efficiency of the fuel consumption.
Let's look at some of the other accessories, because some of these I don't remember seeing the last time I looked at your gear.
Yeah. So we have the lasagna pan here, which is a little deeper than our griddle. So then we have the Dutch ovens right there.
Oh, look at that. They fit right together.
Yep. And then so those lids also double as a griddle. So you could throw it on here and you have a little griddle to cook whatever your eggs or whatever it is.
Fantastic. Well, I'm a big Dutch oven person myself, and a lot of our Old Man Overland members do a lot of kind of fancy cooking and stuff like that, but lugging that stuff around, and then you've got to bring the table to go along with it and everything else. This looks like a really interesting solution.
Did you pick one of those up? There, I mean,
you're testing my strength here, Jaime. I don't know. You know what? I can do this. I can almost Ta-da, look at that.
Right.
Could I do that with a Dutch oven?
Yeah.
Probably not.
So here, let me show you another thing. So when you can take and combine these guys here, but so storage is always the thing, and each one will go, I mean, all the way through. They'll stack inside of each other. But pick those two up. I mean, the volume that those two would give you versus cast iron,
Yeah,
the space saving, right?
Give us a little sense of price point. Again, I know they're not inexpensive, but I'm a big fan,
Right.
and I always say buy once, cry once.
That's
buy
it.
the right stuff.
Yeah.
You'll never ask it again. Give us a sense of that.
Yeah. So our 22-inch, which again is our kind of our flagship biggest seller, they're at $510. The griddle that goes along with that, they're $185 if I remember correctly. But they're again the stuff is made to last.
And you won't need to buy another. This will be the griddle you'll pass on to your grandson.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the stove.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations. You got a
Hey,
great product.
thank you.
It's another example of kind of quality workmanship, locally built, locally owned. And again, if you buy quality, you're not going to regret it. So to check out Cook Partner and Partner Steel, what's your website?
Just partnersteel.com.
Partnersteel.com.
And then just go into the shop and it'll take you into the stoves, because we have a whole nother division that we do custom steel products, a lot of exotics, a whole nother thing.
Great,
And
great.
then so
Good. You're going to find Partner Steel at your high-end outfitters, as well as you can contact directly. They have bags that cover some of the things as well. Griddles, it's been an experience cooking on your stuff, and now that
Yeah.
I've met the man,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to working with you again.
All right, Pete.
Take
Thanks.
care.
Good to see you.
You bet.